Now we're going to have a presentation that's going to tackle a very interesting topic for us, which is traffic circulation in the Lebanese transportation system. As we all know, traffic is a big issue in our daily life, especially when we live in big metropolitan areas. And this is what our great friend from the Sunshine State of Florida, Mr. Tony Mahfoud, is going to be presenting to us from Jacksonville, Florida. Tony Mahfoud is the CEO and owner of Eisman and Russo. And he's going to be, he has extensive experience in highway, bridge, and rail construction. Tony, tfaddal, please, come on. We look forward to hear from Mr. Mahfoud. Thank you.
Thank you, Bashir. Good afternoon. Since the medical doctors took a lot of time from the engineering presentation, as an engineer, I'm going to be efficient and try to make up the time. So let's go ahead and start, please. Today's presentation is going to tackle a little bit the causes of traffic congestion in Lebanon and some of the solutions, not all solutions, some of the solutions that we can come up with to alleviate the issues. Next slide, please. Okay, this is traffic. So what is traffic congestion? This is some pictures of Istanbul, Paris, Singapore, London. People get stuck in traffic, they do nothing. However, in Lebanon, we're very efficient. Next slide, please. This is what we do in Lebanon. Efficiency is getting stuck in traffic and smoking the hookah. So, hey, innovation. Next slide, please. So what causes traffic congestion? I can't see anything, but it's okay. I would say, first of all, population growth. So we are growing a population. We have about 670 individuals per square kilometers that live in the country, ranked about 5th to 6th in the world. Ownership of vehicles, it's very high in Lebanon. We're looking at 1.8 million registered vehicles. That's basically 1 per 2 individuals. Compared to other countries, developing countries like Turkey and South Africa, they have 1 per 7 and 1 per 5. Also, we like to drive our own vehicles, so we're about 1.2 individuals per vehicle versus the US 1.6 and 1.5. And we lack alternative modes of transportation like bus, rail, taxis, bike, etc. So about 80% of Lebanese conduct and drive their own vehicles. Land use and zoning is also a problem in Lebanon. The location of the parcels and parcels development and parking needs are a big problem, adding to traffic congestion. Also, the old infrastructure of the country, we did not, or the government did not develop the roadway system in parallel with the growth in Lebanese population. So right now we rank about 134th out of 138 countries. Very dangerous. Also, driver behavior. Driver behavior is another important issue that we need to look at. It causes delays, accidents, safety, and each minute of delay, for example, someone backing from the Kenneth Abu Milham into the highway is going to cause about 4 minutes of congestion on the highway. We need to develop certain other factors to deal with that. Vehicle operation costs, gas and parking and other things. Next slide, please. So why should you care about this, or why should I care about this? Well, congestion costs the Lebanese economy about $2 billion a year in lost productivity. Time is very important, definitely. So that's about plus or minus 5% of the GDP. In addition to that, add the cost of 1.5% of GDP to social and economic costs. That's people getting injured, long-term injuries, people being disabled, etc. That's a cost in that. Also, environmental effect. What happens when you get stuck in a vehicle or a bus all the time in traffic? Well, 25% of CO2 emissions come from land transport. So that's very environmentally dangerous. Also, the level of pollution in Lebanon exceeds the normal level of pollutions. And that gets people, increases stress. When you increase stress-related diseases, you cause additional wear on vehicles like tires, oil filters. All that combined with that will lead also to an increase in landfill areas, which the country and the minister here know that we don't have. So they say that time equals money. I say that time is more important than money. You can use time to create money, but you cannot use money to create time. And estimating travel time in Lebanon always lead to decrease in business development, decrease in leisure spending. People will not want to move around if they're stuck in traffic, and it leads to less productivity. Next slide. So these are some of the solutions. They're not all the solutions, but some of the solutions. Please note that for any solution to work, they might be combined together within a short period of time. You cannot implement one solution and see and be able to see the difference. You got to implement them within a certain time. One of the solutions right now is that the Lebanese government is proposing a capital improvement program under SEDR that will increase growth and job productivity. However, we need to be careful that we have very good reforms included within those to get the best bang for the buck. Some of the projects listed in SEDR are in phase 1 is the Nahar Ibrahim motorway, Baye, Beirut Peripherique, the Northern Coastal Highway in Akkar, the BRT system in Greater Beirut, and the Rafiq Hariri Airport. There is also a phase 2 and a phase 3 in SEDR that are proposed, and I'll be more than happy to share with you the information in the back room. Next slide, please. So additional solutions is controlling of the ingress and egress to the highway system. Again, we need to provide some service roads to businesses and basically make a highway, a true highway. We need to take care of our existing infrastructures, shoulders, drainage, pavement marking, lighting. And these days, we need to use technology to our advantage. So we have to use, we have a good intelligence transportation system available to us to use. So we need to take advantage of that. Also, parking in the urban core, we need to look at it, and we need to create ways to widen sidewalks by removing vehicles from roads. Look at some of the European models in certain cities, utilize that to our advantage, encourage walking, cycling, and build strategic garages within those core areas. And I can name few core areas, but I'll do it later. A very good linked public transportation system. BRT, bus rapid transit, is not expensive, and it's a very good solution to utilize between, let's say, an area from Jbel all the way up to Daura and then through Beirut. It will help definitely the system. Park and ride and rail are additional solutions. The government need to change their traffic policies and look at them again. I would say we need to encourage vehicle occupancy. We need to create some high occupancy vehicle lanes, add some parking costs, some fees, and encourage carpooling in the country. And there are other countries that have done it before us, so it is very feasible. Traffic, also in addition, I think one of the things the government is working on is the decentralization of the muhafazat. This is a very important thing also to happen all over the country. This will definitely lead by itself to a decrease in trip generated and people traveling from one area to another and adding traffic and pollution on our roadways. New development of land parcels. I think in every other country in the world, when you develop property, you have to develop the system around the property. And it's about time that private developers share with the government the burden of improving those private roads outside their parcels. That's, in every country you call that a fee for trip-generated fees, and in Lebanon we can do the same thing. So the private sector must participate in that. And finally, talked about it this morning, is I think it's about time to create the Ministry of Planning and Urban Development. I think I would like to see that, and I think additional people would like to see that. That will lead to a forecast and manage of future traffic needs. Thank you very much, appreciate it, and we'll get back with you in the back. Have a good evening.